said this, coinciding with the Austin and Ally series finale, which we are only just about 3 weeks removed from. Everybody is still depressed over that. One of the biggest reasons why Austin and Ally finished up was because Ross Lynch and Laura Miranda were getting tired of the series. They had been there for a long period of time. But one of the biggest reasons why the series only lasted was because it thrived off the music. The difference between Liv and Maddie and Austin and Ally is Liv and Maddie has more to fall back on. You have the acting ability of the actress Dove Cameron playing two characters, which is a lot of work, which is something I have a lot of respect for Dove Cameron for being able to do. And you have the music from Dove Cameron. Although it is minimal music and minimal tracks that we're seeing released and written specifically by Walt Disney Records for the series Liv and Maddie, which you can still download on iTunes. It's getting millions of views on Vivo. It is still music. So we're seeing Dove Cameron be one of those multi-talented individuals and really throwing herself out there, obviously being very nervous to wonder how people are going to perceive her as not just an actress but a singer too, which very few people have difficulty doing. We hear Miranda Cosgrove. We heard Miranda Cosgrove back in the day singing, but we didn't hear enough of her for iCarly. But we're seeing both of it for Dove Cameron, for Liv and Maddie. So that's something that I think really needs to be noticed, is the fact that we're not only seeing her as an actress, but we're seeing also what she can do behind a microphone. And I wish we would see more of that from Sabrina Carpenter, and we would have seen more of that from people like Miranda Cosgrove for Nickelodeon's iCarly back in the day, because that would have boosted the ratings and morale of TV shows of the past and even of today, when you're talking about people like Sabrina Carpenter, who's just having her acting ability as an actress to really thrive off of for the success of Girl Meets World, which obviously was going to have success anyway because people know the history of Boy Meets World and can remember watching that back in the mid-90s with the 7 seasons that it was around as part of ABC Television's TGIF lineup, which was great for the ratings and the morale of that segment every Friday night. So that was awesome what they did there. So they obviously knew that Girl Meets World was going to be number one on Disney anyway, which it still is today. But I think that even with how Girl Meets World is number one, that's not to say that Liv and Maddie and Dove Cameron are still not going to take over, because how long is a series like Girl Meets World going to last? I'm hoping it's going to get to 6 to 7 seasons. You would hope that it would, because of how Boy Meets World back in the day got to over 6 or 7 seasons. I'm hoping for that, but how long really is this series going to last? How long are people like Roland Blanchard and especially Sabrina Carpenter going to want to stay around by the music videos and the music they are putting out? Obviously, they're probably going to get to that point where they're going to want to go the way of an Ariana Grande and realize, acting is not something that I really want to do. It's something I wanted to do. I was able to accomplish a lot with a series like Sam and Cat and Victorious from back in the day. So now I'm going to focus on my love, my true passion, music. They could go the way of that. But I'm hoping that a series like Girl Meets World in the long run stays around for at least 6 to 7 seasons to get the kids to the point where they graduate high school and we see them make decisions on their life and we get the answers to the questions that we've been having ever since the get-go and the pivotal start of Girl Meets World from about 2013. Here's the thing. Liv and Maddie's only been around 2 or 3 years, not even 3 years at this point in time. Give it another year and see where we go with this series. There's not much that can be done in the way of a future for the characters that Dove Cameron is playing, like Liv and Maddie. There's nothing that can really be done. They can graduate high school, but really, would it be as an effective graduation as we would see for all the characters of Girl Meets World? I think that honor has been reserved for that series, so it's really hard for me to decipher how this series would end, but that's probably the only way that you can end a series like that. I mean, really, what else are you going to do? Have Dove Cameron sign a contract as Liv to get a chance to sing, and Maddie get a scholarship for playing sports? That's pretty much how you're going to end that series. Either that or you're going to get the kids to graduating high school, and of course Liv and Maddie's graduation is going to be the highlight of that series, which would make perfect sense. But really, I think, like I just said, that honor has been reserved for a series like Girl Meets World. The thing is, too, Liv and Maddie is getting higher ratings than what people are putting this series over for getting. It's not getting as high of ratings reviews as what Girl Meets World is, but it is getting great reviews, and Dove Cameron does have a significant number of fans out there who are going head-to-head, head-bunting, seemingly with the people who have more time in finding negative things to say about Dove Cameron rather than putting her over, and I don't understand why. Is it because you find that she sounds like a little girl way too much? Her energy as, say, Liv's character on Liv and Maddie is just too overwhelming for you? What is it about Dove Cameron that you hate? You just simply draw your own conclusion and say that you don't really know who Dove Cameron is. And I have this to say in response to the people who really don't know who Dove Cameron is. It's only because you don't take the time to review Dove Cameron. You don't take the time to watch Disney Channel enough, or you haven't subscribed to Disney Channel or Disney Channel On Demand. You don't have the app on your cell phone, which a lot of people probably don't have. You just don't take the time to really get into Dove Cameron. But believe me, if you got into Dove Cameron, you will be just as excited about Dove Cameron's future as what I am, because the reality of all this is when you wake up every morning and it slaps you in the face, the reality is this is the future of the celebrity world. These people like Dove Cameron, Olivia Holt, even though they're not reviewed as much as Selena Gomez for an award-winning album or an award-winning TV series, the thing is they are going to be amazing people in the future when you're talking about the celebrity world. They are definitely going to change the landscape of it for forever, and I hope all of you come along for the ride like I'm hoping to be there for, to witness them reach the peak of their careers, which they have to get to yet, because the best days of their careers have yet to be witnessed by both themselves and all their fans who are giving them continuous and never-ending support, which I can't thank fans enough for. Even though we have haters out there of Dove Cameron, we just have just as many fans, and I think the fans that we have out there are definitely high in numbers. They're just not given the recognition that they deserve, because we always have these Victoria Justice, these Miranda Cosgrove, these Ariana Grande, these Selena Gomez, these Miley Cyrus fans who are significantly outnumbering the Dove Cameron fans because of their overwhelming popularity. Here's the thing about Dove Cameron and where she's really going to break through: when she's able to write her own music, just as Demi Lovato did with her new album Confident, and Selena Gomez recently did with her Battle of Lupus being the focus of her album Revival, which we've seen many songs from, like Same Old Love and Good For You, featuring A$AP Rocky. The thing is, Dove Cameron can write music like that and have guest appearances like people like A$AP Rocky or even Flo Rida on her album if she's given that opportunity. Maybe not right away, but we're going to see Dove Cameron release an EP and a CD, an album for iTunes, even if it's specifically released on iTunes and iTunes alone. I think people would buy an iTunes card or use so much of the money on their iTunes card to download a Dove Cameron album, even if it went for $10 through $15, even if you had $15.99 tacked onto it for tax. The thing is, people would get into Dove Cameron's music, and eventually we would see celebrity power in the way of a Justin Bieber or a Flo Rida joining Dove Cameron, or in the same way that Justin Bieber had success after he broke away from companies like Disney and his record labels and changed his image significantly through the years. We're going to see Dove Cameron go through that metamorphical process, which I hope when she eventually goes through that process, she keeps that same kind of image some way or somehow that she's always been known for with Disney. The thing is about people like Dove Cameron and Olivia Holt too, even Roland Blanchard and Sabrina Carpenter, is when it comes to doing interviews with the media and, say, promoting a series like Liv and Maddie, they are so friendly, far more friendly than a Selena Gomez and Miley Cyrus ever were back in 2004, 2005. Again, me reiterating the fact that 10 years has definitely significantly changed the direction of Disney and changed how we perceive Disney significantly, because we're seeing far more creative shows with far more innovative concepts that are really appealing to even more people and more age demographics, like Two Friends having the ability to time travel, a cast of Jessie now going to Camp Kikiwaki for the series Bunked. We have a show like A Dog with a Blog, which is awesome. Dove Cameron playing two different characters on one series, which is something that has never been done enough in Disney's past. So I think that we've come a long way from 2004, 2005. Back in 2010, the biggest example I can use for you is when Hannah Montana finished with its series finale after over 100 episodes. The only thing we had to fall back on was Bella Thorne and the series Shake It Up, which didn't last no time before it was canceled, and we saw Bella Thorne go elsewhere outside of Disney once she realized she had become established enough. They didn't ultimately want to run with a series like Shake It Up. They had a few specials for Shake It Up, but ultimately what they tried to run with from the fallout of Hannah Montana and its series finale, along with Sweet Life on Deck, when it eventually finished and the boat docked and they all graduated high school and got off the boat and speculated on their futures, the only thing that we really had to see from Disney Channel was just the future of that. And I think that really, that's really what we just were talking about. There was nothing really to talk about back in 2010. It was just ridiculous. The same inadequate concepts were being reiterated, and really the only thing they had outside of Shake It Up was Good Luck Charlie, and we all know what happened to Bridget Mendler. That was the series that I was trying to think of there. I didn't know what the name of it was that I was trying to think up. My thoughts were elsewhere. But really all we had were Shake It Up and Good Luck Charlie to really fall back on, and once they realized that Bella Thorne didn't want to be there for the long haul, and we only had about 3 or 4 seasons of Shake It Up, and they tried to focus on Good Luck Charlie, and we all know what happened to Bridget Mendler with how she grew up too fast, and then she had 2 more mature roles given to her with the cast of Undateable wanting her to be a part of that show, and then she came in for season 2, and then she started receiving negative review after negative review, which was to be expected for the role that she was given outside of Disney, and she said she wanted more with it. So Disney's planned to either fire back off the series finale of Hannah Montana with a show like Shake It Up, or Good Luck Charlie ultimately failed, but then they brought in all these great talents, and they obviously have rebounded off of that. So that's something very significant about everything that's happened. Even in Disney's faults and their hard times with the series finales of shows like Hannah Montana and Wizards, they came back and they fired back significantly, and definitely they are direct competitors once again for companies like Nickelodeon, who are definitely nowhere near the creative edge of Disney right now, which I hope they continue to have as we make our way through 2016 and head into 2017, which, if you look at the forecast for, is going to be a really big year for companies like Disney, notwithstanding the releases of things like Episode 8 and the Disney remakes of The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast. What is 2017 going to look like for Disney Channel shows? What is 2017 going to have in store and put out there for Dove Cameron and Olivia Holt? I Didn't Do It may not be getting as high reviews as a series like Girl Meets World or Liv and Maddie, but I Didn't Do It is really in a position to really break out, and we're going to be seeing the best of Olivia Holt probably by 2017, either as an actress or musically, because she's both inclined in a lot of different ways. So I think that we really need to not draw conclusions so quickly. We need to not, jump the fence, so to speak, and we really need to allow